Hello movie prop fans, welcome to another in a long line of episodes of the Propstop Vids. And today for you a Propstop Showcase. Now I want to talk very briefly about a great man. And two of the great writers, of course, of Red Dwarf, Rob Grant and Doug Naylor. And we lost one of those gentlemen last week. I was privileged to watch the very first episode of Red Dwarf go out. I think it was 1988, and it went out, I believe, shortly after Doctor Who, about 9 o'clock, whereas Doctor Who would go out about 7:30. And I remember recording that episode. I was one of a privileged few who actually watched that go out live. And of course, years later, by the time we got to season 3 and 4, Red Dwarf became much more of a household name. But in the beginning, it was a budget that was actually bigger than season 3, but was all battleship grey and very boring sets, and yet it created this lived-in feel. And the effects, of course, with the Red Dwarf were all done motion control, so they were beautiful. And I just loved it from the first episode. I've always been a Red Dwarf fan. I've never missed an episode. I've seen every single one. In those early ones, I watched them multiple times. So when the chance came up with Prop Store of London in approximately 2002, I did get the shout out that we had some Red Dwarf stuff. A little did I know they had so much. So at the time I bought the Lister Silver Parker, which was very famous for being in the Marooned episode, and also Polymorph, two of my favorite episodes, Polymorph season 3, first appearance of, I think, the Buzookoids. So I just fell in love, and you'll see in the other video that I've got the Buzookoid Mark 1. That is pieces of real one and some other pieces from one that was made at the time and not finished off, and then there's some pieces that were never production made as well, all slapped together to make a nice one. The thing I always wanted was both versions, because when in a later season, I think it was 4 or 5, they went to the Buzookoid Mark 2, they kind of changed the angle of the of where the bullet comes out, the nozzle, that instead of having that, it goes bunk and then up at an angle and then across. Well, in the Mark II, it just goes straight. But it had things on it like a shotgun effect on it. It had a much cooler logo on it that was kind of vac formed. And, you know, of course, it would be lovely to not have the stunt version, it would be the hero. So little did I know, in 2002, a lawyer who was local to the Midwest bought a ton of Red Dwarf and had it all shipped to America. So around about 2017, I was on an auction site, and it was, advertising sales in the area, and I see a Dalek, and then I see a TARDIS, and then I see all the Red Dwarf stuff I could ever want. Lister's costumes, and Rimmer's red outfit, the hologram from season 4, and there was, when I tell you it was a box truck full, well, I contacted that estate sale and I said, could I buy it? And I got some pretty semi-crazy prices, but then they came back at me with a figure on about 12 pieces, and I just had to have it all. And I bought it all, and then I was promised, or later on, come back to us, and we will, on the last day of the sale, if no one's bought it, we'll give you a bulk offer. So I waited that week, and then I called up the day after a Saturday, which was Sunday, the last day of the sale, and was told, oh no, we sold it to someone else and they put it in a box truck. So listen, I'm about to tell you something and you should listen. If someone gives you an opportunity, don't sit around waiting for the end. If they say, this is for sale now, do what I should have done, which is buy it. Because what happens is you wait and you're disappointed. I'm not gonna say that I am now ruining the day I did that, because I'm not. I'm happy with the 12 pieces I got. But boy, oh boy, is it a lesson in the flesh. It is, total lesson. So if you're presented an opportunity, don't wait on it, because the time is valuable and the next day someone else could make an offer and then you're out. So that is the lesson of this video. But what's the lesson for me? Well, the lesson for me is amongst those 12 items was Buzookoid Mk2. Now I've sold nearly all those 12 items. I still have the cyber suit from 30 Days in the TARDIS, which is just such a gift. I always wanted a Cyberman, the Earthshock style, but Red Dwarf wise, to me, it was, you know, Rimmer, Lister, it was Crichton. So now I only actually have 2 Buzookoids and the Silver Parker for Red Dwarf, but that represents the show to me, and I love these pieces. So this is a hero Buzookoid. This one has the firing buttons on it. Why? Because then they had an actual cable in here, so this thing could fire 4 shots. This one doesn't have the because that was a whole nother one of these, but it does have, and also that one also had the removable power pack here, but this one does have lights in it, which I have not made work. I think actually on this one, this is actually the thing that enables the firing mechanism. But as far as I remember, this is a lit up one. It could be, a lot of the times when you have a firing one, they don't put lights in it. So that might be this one. And to be honest, I've never actually opened it up. The actual plate here would be fairly easy to pull off. I should just pull that off, shouldn't I? And if I do, I'll actually put a picture of it in the video. But yeah, there we go. Something I absolutely adore. I think I've sold, you know, the lovely gold Rimmer costume, Ace Rimmer. I sold that. I had his H that was, I think, was in the pocket of that costume. I had, what else did I have from that? There was so many little bits and pieces. But you know, you don't tend to talk about the things that you got rid of in the past because they're gone. But this hasn't. I absolutely love this. They only probably made 2 or 3 of them. Same with the other Buzookoids, of which I think they made 2, and then the one that fell apart. But yeah, that is a 100% hero firing Buzookoid made by the BBC Visual Effects Department. I believe Mike Tucker had a hand in this, a truly gifted man who's made some of my favorite props from Doctor Who and Red Dwarf. So thanks a lot for joining us on this edition of the Propstop Showcase. If you haven't seen it because you're in the States and you don't know what Red Dwarf is, go and watch the best sci-fi comedy ever made, even better than Hitchhiker's Guide, and that is a hard thing to say. Oh, forgot the strap. Very important. Many times on these props, the straps are missing. So anyway, take care of yourself. We'll see you again, and smoke me a kipper. I'll be back for breakfast.